Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Success EQ, a customer success podcast where we discuss everything strategic about customer success. I'm your host Kritika, and today I have a really special guest, Anupran, with me, who is a leader at Netradyne. Um, we are going to discuss the ins and outs of scale CS. So, from its definition to its implementation challenges, metrics, how do you hire specific people, and everything in between. He has done it multiple times. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited to talk to him and learn more about it. So, welcome, Anupran. Welcome to the show. We are extremely excited to have you today.
Thanks a lot, Kritika. Even I am excited for my first podcast, which I am being part of, and
Oh, that's very
looking
sweet.
forward to this discussion, and really looking forward to add some value to the CS community.
Yes, yes, absolutely. From last few weeks, since I've spoken to you, I feel like you carry so much knowledge, practical insights as to how things are done. So yeah, I'm very sure it's going to be super informative for our listeners, for customer success professionals across the globe. So yeah, let's just introduce yourself to the audience, and then we can go deep dive in the topic.
Sure, Kritika. Hey everyone, I'm Anupran, and I have been in customer facing roles for now almost 12 years. My customer success experience, if I have to say, it's 7 years, and it has been with multiple companies, the different sizes of the customers, different sizes of the companies into different journeys. So definitely I can say that customer success is somewhere where I have settled in my career, and this is where I'm looking forward to grow as a professional and definitely add certain value to the CS folks who works with me in my org and other than that. So in customer success, I have worked with companies like Sprinkler, I've worked with CleverTap, GoQuick, and now currently with Netradyne. So I started my career as a CSM, like everyone does in customer success org. Then I grew as a senior CSM, and then from last two stints, I have been into the leadership role. If you ask me what sizes of customers I have worked with, it ranges from anywhere from 25K USD to 6 million, 6.5 million USD. So definitely a different range of customers. Talking about customers in different geographies, I've worked in US geographies, APAC and India. So yeah, this is me. And if you have any things specific to know about my experience, you can definitely reach out to me anytime.
Thank you so much, Anupran. So yeah, let's get into the heart of the conversation. You have mentioned that you have worked with different teams of different sizes, or different customers of different sizes. Give us in quick overview of what is Scale CS, and your experience in setting Scale CS in different companies.
Yeah, if I have to speak in one line, what scaled CS is, it's an approach to customer success, which is like increasing the efficiency of the CS org which we have, and definitely not reducing the effectiveness of the CS org which is present in any company. It's a hybrid of tech touch, and definitely human touch is always there. So this is like you can say it's something where we automate things a lot. It's something where we believe in communicating right contents, right things at the right time to the customers, and definitely working on use cases where CSMs actually needs to be involved, rather than working on a number of things which current CS team or current CS orgs at different companies keep on working on. So it's like reducing the efforts which can be automated. Means many a times we hear about a CS team is always burned out or having a lot to do. So it's like it's an approach where we try to automate things a lot. We try to use technology to um, take care of all mundane tasks, and then take care of the most important ones like retention, churn management, upsell, cross sell, which definitely needs a CSM involved to be involved. So yeah, this is what is scaled customer success.
Yeah, I mean, if you can share a bit from your experience, where all you have set it up, what sort of companies it should be done for? Is there specific ticket size that people should be looking, or it can be done for all the customers in the company, be it enterprise or strategic or small and medium businesses? So, is there any specific company size that we should be thinking about when we think about scale CS, or it can be for anyone, any of the customers?
If you ask me, it can be used anywhere and it should be used everywhere, if I have to say. But again, it's something which is coming up means very quickly since the time, if I have to say, chat GPT or anything such means use of AI and all has come into play. So it has picked up, but it can be used anywhere. Now, if you ask me where all it can be used. So let me break it up into three parts. Like, for example, where your product is like which can be installed, where your product can be used, where your product can be self-served. So this is one approach where it's completely high touch with no CSMs. We call it as a self-serve model. So, but here definitely your product needs to be such like that. We have many times we have heard about in pulse events like your product is the best CSM. So here, when we talk about product the best CSM, if your product is more of a self-serve product where you don't need any CSMs. Then let's come to the other end where there is a lot of what do you say? Um, if I have to say, lot of use cases and your product can serve, there are a lot many what do you say customizations which can be done there. Your products can be used in n number of your ways for n number of industries for n number of use cases. This is where you need a CS, complete as a CSM, where definitely a CSM needs to involve to ensure that your product is used in the right way for different types of customers of different sizes. Now, there comes a product in which there are things which can be customized, there are things which can be self-served, uh, and there are things which can be automated. This is where a scaled CS comes into play. Yeah, we can definitely we can think about like how an approach like how to go about it. Like, do we need to automate things for all customers right away, or do we want to start with a different set of customers and then pick it up for other sets of customers? But one thing which I can say with my experience, you can't do like scaled CS for one set of customers, a complete CSM led thing for the other set of customers. So if you ask me, it should be like your scale CS should be the base, and the CS led things or CSM led things should come on top of it. Let me know if I answered your question
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah, there is a lot of things which we can discuss, but yeah, this is like this is the way I can sum it up.
yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like you summed it up uh, really well. And I also believe that scale CSM, focusing on, especially in today's time, focusing on automation and personalization, however we can do to help that customer success manager, because he has so many moving parts around. He has to work internally and externally with customers. There's so many things that they have to do. And as you rightly pointed out, people are feeling extreme burnout. So whatever we can automate, whatever we can um, do proactively digitally can be should be done with all the customers possible, and that should be the base. And then on top of it, people can think about delivering that personalized white glove service that we call
Absolutely.
to the customers, and see how they can move towards achieving that value. So yeah, that's really insightful. So a lot of times we are seeing um, scale CSM being confused as not being proactive. It is something that, oh, if someone is asking, you should send. And onboarding videos to customers, or if they have asked for something, then you're sending the digital format of the content to them. So it is it is usually confused with the marketing efforts, customer marketing effort that people do, or with support. Do you think that there's a these things are different, or where scale CSM is not, carved out as a role? Probably these things are getting merged into other roles, but definitely there's a line separating them.
So, yeah, let me answer it in a different way. It's an approach, because scale CS is an approach where we try to do more with less. So if I have to ask about proactive or reactive, it's 100% proactive. We can't say that it's a reactive approach. If it is reactive, then again, no automation or no right time content delivery when we talk about scale CS will come into play. So what is scale CS? Let me again put it in a way. It's a way of, like, you have a CRM. You definitely need a CS tool in this approach. Customer support is always there. So let's start with the life cycle of a customer. In every stage of a customer, there are certain interventions which is required. So it can be for your onboarding, it can be for when like a CSM first time comes into play, then it can be like your, when should we go about EBRs, how should we go about what do you say, customer success plans, how do we go about, let's say, your retention, like, or not, it should not be called retention, but when should you approach a customer for renewal or anything. So it's for different stages where different interventions are required. So here you automate different interventions. Like, for example, when you talked about content delivery or marketing things. So why a CSM needs to be involved in this if it can be automated, right? So, and then it can be done. Like, for example, if you come out with a excellent feature, why should we wait for a CSM to send it to the customer? It can be automated, and right time it can be delivered. Many times CSMs forget about it, of sending things or something, and then we put it on the compliance of a CSM, but it's like they miss it because they have a lot to do. So it can be done. Then it can be like, for example, reaching out to a customer for what do you say, renewal. The first email, or if I have to say, first communication should go automatically. That, hey customer, this is where, when your contract is gonna renewed, and your CSM will get in touch with you. So this is one odd thing which can be automated. Like this, it can be n number of things which can be automated. It means if you means we work with Gainsight. In Gainsight, even if your automation works correctly, and if you feed in all the details in Gainsight, your CS plans can be automated as well. So when it can be automated, and it can be sent to the customer. Many a times when you have a large set of customers, let's say a CSM is handling 150 customers, and it is possible. When I talk about it, I can definitely say 150 customers can be handled by a CSM if you remove all the mundane tasks. In that case, like, even your QBR reports or metrics, if it is recorded well, all the what do you say, when your product, your CS tool, your CRM, and your support tool is integrated well, and then a lot of automation possibilities are there. So again, talking about content delivery, here it happens on real time, and on the right time, if I have to say, not real time. When we talk about support, it's just a pillar which supports here. Like, for example, support does everything what support needs to do. Here CSM doesn't get involved into anything tech. It can be handled through support. Now talking about communication, no communications gets missed. Let's say, for example, a renewal communication has gone to the customer. Playbook is already created on your CS tool, and then you just need to go ahead and work on those playbooks. CSM doesn't need to send any first communication. It is already gone. CSM doesn't need to create a playbook. It is already created. CSM just needs to work on those playbooks. So this is a way it can be done. Here, the major focus, again, many times you can talk about what should be the metrics. And then one metric which I have seen many a place, like compliance is considered to be a metrics. Here, the whole compliance piece can be taken care of. and you just need to work on two metrics, which is retention and growth, which is the core of any CS team. Let me know if I answered it well,
Yeah.
but this is what it is.
Yes, absolutely. Whatever I gauged from your what you explained is basically the key differentiator between these roles can be customer success is all about focusing on long-term success and value realization, even in skills, yes, versus let's say support. They are just focusing on immediate problem solving. No matter if it is scale CS or white glove CS, the core value is always going to be value realization and long-term success of the customer. Uh, since you mentioned about metrics already, I would love to know more about what kind of metrics do you track um, in when you are creating this digital CS or scale CS program at any organization? What are some key metrics that you track to ensure that, yeah, it is successful or it is delivering value or it is benefiting the customer and benefiting the company?
It doesn't change. Actually, if I have to say which all companies should use Scale CS, any companies which wants to get more done from your CSMs, or which wants to which have growing customers where there is a lot of scope of growth within, means organic growth, if I have to say, or let's say if I have to say CS led growth. When we talk about, again, retention is definitely there, then your growth, how NRR comes into play. And again, when we talk about automating anything, your NPS ratings or anything like that, your customer satisfaction score comes into play. So when we talk about metrics, simple: ARR, NRR, customer satisfaction, these three are the major ones. No change here at all. So that's why when I started, it's just an approach, how we approach a CS org, rather than having a different set of metrics. Here we don't consider compliance because we want the tool or we want the system to take care of the compliance.
Got it. What about the you know, we used to track this metric a lot in my previous org, time to value. So we used to ensure that customers are able to get onboarded or get live within 90 days or 60 days. Um, and the first aha moment, that first value is soon. So what they're able to realize that first value very quickly. So do you think that since we are automating a lot of things, we are ensuring that uh, proactive uh, communication reaches to the customer and not get missed by that human error? Do you think that time to value increases here or improve here?
For any customer success, like when we talk about onboarding, plays a major role. If you don't onboard a customer well, then it creates a time bomb which can boom anytime later in the life cycle of a customer. So like any customer success org, even time to value is very important metric, but it's only for onboarding. So when we talk about onboarding, yeah, onboarding can be automated, like I talked about, where it can be like self onboarding, self serve, where like it's just about you provide them with certain set of what do you say, certain set of activities which a customer needs to perform, certain set of APIs their team integrates. So but it is possible only when your customer takes care of everything, or all the integration happens like this. So there it can be automated, but many a times I believe there are very few products where it can be self-serve onboarding. So onboarding needs to be taken care of first. So if it can be done in an automated manner, well and good. If not, it should be taken care of. Like when I talk about Netradyne, here it's a hardware plus SaaS product. So here hardware needs to get installed by the field engineers. Or let's say it can be self-installed, but again, it completely depends upon the how tech savvy or how hardware savvy your customers are, who can just follow the process and then install the cameras or anything like that. but it is done by field engineers. And there it needs when here we track complete everything, like when the hardware moved from our place, when it got delivered, when it got installed, and then when everything data starts get feeding in, and then the data starts making sense for the customer. When I was at CleverTap, it was a complete self-serve product, although it was for, let's say, they used to call it CleverTap for startups, I believe. There was no CSM involved. So when we talk about such products are very, very less in the market, where right from onboarding to the usage of the product, everything is being handled in a self-serve manner. It plays a
Got
huge role. You talked about whether
it.
time to value, but that is a metric which is for onboarding. Definitely time to value is a very, very urgent metric.
Got it. I was just trying to understand the effectiveness of having the scale touch point and how to measure the impacts that it creates, be it with, the automated interaction, or you can call it low touch
Yeah.
interaction.
I'll
So,
just add, sorry to interrupt.
mhm,
I'll just add one more thing. Here at Netradyne, for our, what do you say, smaller customers, there no field engineers gets involved. We are 100% dependent upon customers who do themselves, who do the self onboarding. So here we have a complete digital onboarding process. It's 100% digital. It's a different set of like communications which goes when you receive a when you like when we close one a customer, when it happens on CRM Salesforce, then a customer gets welcome email where it talks about the value which products brings onto the table. Then when your product or the hardware gets dispatched and delivered, so that's where they get a communication. Here again, everything is getting tracked when it is getting delivered, and accordingly they get a timely communication about how to install it. So how to install it, how to troubleshoot it, all those emails goes into play. Then again, it's all 100% digital. When we talk about training of the product, so it starts with installation, then it starts about how to use a product. That communication goes into play. So it's a 3 weeks training program which runs digitally. And CSM gets involved just once in onboarding, where if a customer has any questions out of, let's say they were unable to install, or let's say they had certain questions how to use a product, if they don't get a chance to understand from the digital onboarding. But it's means we are improving our digital onboarding program, which is getting better and better. So CS involvement gets lesser and lesser. 1.5 hour call is getting reduced to 45 minutes calls. 45 minutes calls will definitely, I believe, will get reduced to 30 minutes, and then none. So this is what we are looking forward to. So if I have to give one suggestion for any company which is thinking about scale CS, it would be start with your small ticket size customer. See how it is working and take these best practices to your mid-size customers and then to your enterprise ones. But definitely don't keep a mind space that this is only for low touch customer,
yeah,
because there is a huge scope of what do you say in terms of effectiveness, or let's say efficiency improvement in high touch customers as well, where you can improve the efficiency of your CSMs, or if I have to say, not to increase number of customers for a CSM, but to reduce the burden which, or the burnout which a CSM gets into in the
100%.
CS org. Yeah.
So, I wanted to understand one thing. Um, Especially for the companies who have done things, um, who have involved CSM in each and every step of that customer journey. Implementing a scaled CS could be a little challenging. They will not know, okay, which aspect should I pick first? What are some of the biggest hurdles you think companies face um, when they are thinking about, okay, let's automate few of the things, or let's go digital?
So one of the, again, I'm talking with my experience, one of the apprehension which comes into play is like customer was getting a lot of high touch initially, and then you talk about reducing that. So here when we talk about the existing customer, there are more bottlenecks. But when we talk about new customer, expectations can be set accordingly. When we start, let's say, for example, we want to start with low ticket size customer, then we need to set expectations with the customer is that this is the way you'll be getting tech support, definitely 24/7. Then you'll be getting programmed customer success. You can call it programmed customer success here. It means is like there would be few things which can be handled through emails, through tech, or anything like that. And then there can be definitely when they need to get in touch with the CSM, they are available. But for every but we need to ensure that we have an engagement model in place which we send to customer. We keep resending that every quarter or every time so that customer is aware how to get in touch with you. Let's say, for example, if you have a chatbot in place which answers your FAQs, they need to know like when to use chatbot, right? And then how to whether the chatbot is there on WhatsApp, whether the chatbot is on your website, whether the chatbot is on your tech platform. Means why I'm starting with the customer's end, because that is the customer what do you say experience is something which your management, your CS leader or a CSM will be most worried about. That it should not, definitely it's not a way to decrease the customer experience. It's a way to improve the customer experience. So you need to take care about it. Expectation setting while we sell it to the customer, having an engagement model which is very, very effective, and then keep on talking about it when you meet the customer, when you talk to the customer, and definitely you need to send communications with very, very regularly. Next is talking about what to do. First of all, what needs to be automated. You can start with complete, like switch on the digital mode from your current mode. You start with one use case, then second use case, then third use case, and the fourth one. So accordingly, you can start with, let's say, the communications, which goes your product, what do you say, launches, your, let's say, thought leadership things which we send it to them. It's like customer marketing thing. It can be automated. Then this would be the first step. The second step would be sending them communications about FAQs, like the questions which they ask. We can send them a document. We can send an email which what talks about how to access those documents, how to reach out to those things. The two most important pillar here can be one, your content management needs to be good. So you need to start building content first before getting into it. Like, for example, training, talking about products, FAQs, the different use cases which your product deals with. So I'm not talking about a customer university right away, but these contents to be there. If you have a university, well and good. Second, and then this is like how we start. The pinnacle would be like, for example, if a customer wants something to be added, like for example, to buy a new feature, they can have a feature like, for example, they can just click on your platform itself and then buy it, which can be included in your contract. It can be like, for example, 10 users, you want 2 more, just go there and buy. No need of CSM, right? Then it can be like, for example, a new feature which has come, you are very excited about it. You can definitely have let's say, for example, a CSM goes on a call, talks about it, customer gets impressed, go and buy it. So everything happens on a one call. When I talk about efficiency, this is where we can think about reaching
the pinnacle of it.
Yeah, it's not a pinnacle. I should not say pinnacle, but this is something which we can really think about. It can be done. It's not something which is an alien term now. There are few things which we are doing at Netradyne where you can buy, let's say, for example, 10 videos. If you want to increase it to 20 videos access, you can just go and buy it. No need of CSMs.
So here you're tackling upgrades and upsell also with the help of,
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely the next step, I feel like, of designing the scale CSM program.
Yeah. And then again, when we talk about chatbot, when I was talking about here, you can use your AI in a lot conversational AI or anything like that. It can be used in a more effective communication to more improved communication, if I have to say. But yeah, this is what. So scale CS, that's what I told you. It's here, and it will definitely get adopted more and more in the orgs, because whenever a new customer success was a new function, let's say 8 to 10 years back, now it's a well-renowned function. Like in sales, HR, or any other function, if I have to say, efficiency is something which started getting discussed well before. I believe when I started working at that time itself in CS org, it's a high time when we talk about efficiency of the CS org, because that is where your CS leadership will come into play when you talk. Means not efficiency here. I don't only mean by the cost factor of it, but also to get more done from the resources which you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, and the mantra of CS team has been always do more with less. That is the mantra that we are seeing things this talked about again and again. No matter which meeting you go, this is something that you have to talk about, and the AI, of course. So you mentioned about a tool, but I want to know about for setting triggers up, you need like really good data points. So what are some of the data points that are that you should consider to trigger some of these things? And a lot of people get into this rut of, oh, the data is not proper and pin we will be able to do this once uh, this data set should be there, or the information from different other teams has to be there. So what are some like core data points that you need to get started?
Let me make it simple. So like, for example, usage of the product, adoption of the product, we talk about a lot in CS, right? Let's say, for example, if a customer bought 10 users and they are just using two, and then two, or let's say 5 users is being utilized, and after a quarter, then it can be automated. Like an automated conversation can go, a trigger comes that your adoption is less, a
Yeah,
playbook gets created, and the communication goes, and CSM gets a trigger as well, like, here you need to talk to the customer, but first communication can go to the customer. This is about less. Let's say about overage. So hey, means we are glad you're using our product well. There is some sort of overage. You might want to buy. You can get in touch with the CSMs. So this is one use case, adoption. So likewise, it can be done for many other things. Hey, your NPS rating. Let's say your customer gave less NPS rating, and a trigger can be created according to the rating which you received from the customer. I'm talking about very simple things, but yeah, your usage data should get pulled in first of all from your product. Then it should go into CRM or CS tool which you have. So that is one thing. Your NPS, whichever tool you are using, that the data needs to get into your CRM tool, or let's say CS tool, from where you can trigger the communication. First of all, you decide what all use cases you want to have it, and then have a data point in place. So it's not about getting in a hurry and then you into implementation of a skilled CS program. You need to think about it. You need to think about in stepwise how, not only about which customers to start with, that is definitely one thing to think about. Then how are we going to implement, what all use cases, you segment it, prioritize it, and then get things done.
got it. Yeah, so start with the basics like customer health scores or usage data or NPS, as you rightly pointed out, subscription data, as you mentioned, to trigger that subscription conversation, and then personalize it, automate it, and go from there. Uh, let's talk a little bit about the team now. When you are thinking about building this, building a team for especially CS, CS roles. So, do you look for special qualities or special skill sets when you look for candidates to hire for the specific role in your team?
Again, here I'll not get into scaled CS mode. So here you can definitely think about the uh, what do you say, number of years of experience or anything as such. So those are like for example, for your lower uh, volume or let's say low ARR customer, you'll definitely not go for more experienced CSM. So these are filters you can use to shortlist candidates. I'll talk about what I look for someone in CS org. There are one, definitely you need to be a people's person. It's about you handle people outside the org and within the org. You need to work with people. You need to get things done. You need to be like someone who can get things done without getting irritated. So that is the most important quality. And you get to know. And for me, it's simple. If it's someone is a happy person, he will get things done more than someone who is a serious person. Again, uh, it's not about judgment. It's about you get to know in the interaction which you have with the CSM. Second important quality, which I look into it, I don't know about others, but I look for someone who had some hobbies outside the org. Like, for example, who many people talk about CSM burnout. Many people talk about they don't means work-life balance or something. If someone is very passionate about few things outside work, he will take out time for those things as well. So again, and then when they take out for those things, they would be happy. Again, that comes into your play, like how you will function at work. So that is one of the things which I look into it when I have discussions with people. And there are two or three pillars in CS org which is required. One is knowing CS org. Another one is knowing the industry which they are getting interviewed in. The third one is like uh, not only industry, knowing the use cases as well. Like for example, knowing good at marketing in martech, good at fintech, good at financial things in fintech. So out of these three pillars, if they are good at one thing, I tend to go with him or her. So that is
Okay.
the third thing, talking about skills. If they know about CS, well and good. You're also welcome if you know about industry. So that will help me to means quickly onboard them. So that's one of the things. But these two, three qualities, which is super, super relevant. Person should have life outside work. People should be good in getting things done with people, and they should be confident. They should be like when I say, I mean, passionate about few things, you need to start conversations with customers, you need to start conversations with your colleagues or someone. So that comes into play. Again, it's all about handling people. How do you talk to them? What do you talk to them? So again, these two three things I look into people when I hire them.
Absolutely. I mean, especially after COVID and when people started going remote, I feel like that line between when you have to work, when you have your personal time, has been blurred. And if you are able to compartmentalize better, if you're able to do things efficiently in your personal life, in your professional life, you definitely thrive uh, in both the aspects. So compartmentalize uh, and doing thing outside work, having that time for yourself is definitely needed for anyone to excel in any profession, not just customer success. You have summed that up really well and shared so many insights. Anything that you would like to add more, or any parting thoughts that you wanted to
I would just like to conclude with things like scale CS is something which needs to be adopted, which is something which is gonna come into play more and more, which can be adopted by any customer of any size, for any customer of any size, and then also for any size company. And then I believe this is being tackled. Even if you see this time in the Pulse event of Gainsight, it was about how to use AI in a better way. So it's again already there. It's just we need to be ready to adopt it. Yeah.
100%. Um, Thank you so much, Anupran, for sharing your valuable insight with us today. And I learned I learned a lot from the experience that you shared, the work that you have done at different organizations. And I'm sure our listeners also learned a lot from your experience. Um, we definitely got a clearer understanding of scale CS and how to go about it, like the mindset that you need to implement it. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure
Thanks.
having you.
Thanks a lot, Kritika. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for having me in your podcast.
Yeah, and for our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We are going to see you on the next episode. Bye.
See you, everyone. Bye.